I'm doing something a little different this time. I got the green light to talk about one of my favorite series, one that most people seem to have written off, Channel Zero. But we're not covering the whole thing, at least not all at once. Each season has its own mythology and tone, and it wouldn't be fair to cram them all together, at least in my opinion. It'd be like trying to review American Horror Story as a single story, and it doesn't work. So I'm starting with my favorite, Season 2, No End House. This one means something to me. It aired 2 years after I lost my dad, and it hit me in a way that felt uncomfortably specific. I was already deep in the grief cycle, and the show knew exactly which nerves to press. No End House, hands down, the best season of the 4. Comparing it to others would be pointless, it would dominate in every category. Though they deserve their own space, and we'll get there if you guys are up for it. But first, let's set the stage with a little background on the series before we dive into one of the most gut-wrenching, deeply terrifying things I've ever seen. Channel Zero is an anthology horror series created by Nick Anoska, known for adapting lesser-known creepypasta stories into atmospheric, unsettling TV seasons. The term creepypasta hadn't been coined when I was a kid. Creepypasta for us meant Faces of Death videos, or Bloody Mary, or your friend's older brother telling you a story about the haunted bridge a town over. Or Exhibit A. It's my own exhibit really, but I think it's pretty fucking good. No End House, the show's second season, premiered in 2017 and follows a group of friends drawn to a mysterious, ever-changing haunted house with 6 rooms, each more terrifying and psychologically intense than the last. The series dives deep into themes of memory, trauma, and grief, wrapping supernatural horror in the messy emotional landscapes of its characters. The original No End House creepypasta is all escalating horror. 9 rooms of psychological torment designed to break a person down through shock and spectacle. It's punchy, eerie, and leans heavily into traditional haunted house tropes like dead parents and demonic figures. And Asuka's adaptation couldn't be more different. Instead of a test of endurance, it becomes a meditation on memory and grief. The scares are slower, sadder, and far, far more personal. In his version, the house isn't just something you survive, it's something you're tempted to stay in. The threat isn't a monster, but your own longing to hold on to the past. It's like the original story was Goosebumps for adults, but Anoska made it Lynchian horror meets emotional collapse. And now for the episodes. Episode 1, This Isn't Real. The series didn't just resonate with me, it leveled me. When it aired, I was still deep in grief after losing my dad 2 years earlier. Watching Margot stumble through a surreal, haunted maze that weaponizes memory and loss wasn't just compelling, it felt all too personal. The episode opens like a dream already in progress. Suburban houses with single numbers on them, no doors, something slightly off, except the black house at the end of the street. A girl is tackled just before entering. This ends up being Lacey. This Isn't Real is carved into her arm, a warning disguised as harm. Then we meet Margot, played by Amy Forsyth, and see a montage of home videos with her dad, played by the truly magnificent John Carroll Lynch. We learn he died of an allergic reaction, a freak accident. She finds him. That, if only I had been there guilt, that's the kind that doesn't go away. The catalyst is small. Cryptic videos, a house that appears from nowhere, 6 rooms, they say. No one gets to the 6th. It's all supposed to be psychological, fun. But the deeper they go, the less fun it gets. Room 1 tears apart sculptures of their face. Room 2 introduces a mask-whispering Welcome Back Martian. Room 3 is a oddly lit hallway with a mirror and a man laughing maniacally, and it disorients more than it scares. Room 4 is the gut punch. A jumbled reel of memories projected out of order. Distorted conversations, scrambled faces. I mean, that's what grief does. It makes memory cruel and untrustworthy. But room 5 wrecks everything. It's her living room. Her dead father wearing a plaster mask, bloated and lifeless, slumped on the couch. Then, alive again. Clingy. I'm too happy to see her. He tells her she has to go through to get home. She does, and emerges not into safety. It's something familiar, but not quite. Then home, or what looks like it. It's too quiet, it's too still, and on the door, the number 6. And then, her dad's in the kitchen, smiling, making breakfast, like nothing ever happened.
Hey, Martian. How was your night?
Episode 2, Nice Neighborhood. Jules is unraveling. She lies about what she saw in room 5, but we know the truth. A glowing orb filled with warped voices is calling back to her. Back home, Margot's dad is alive, but something's off. Everything feels like a copy, just close enough to pass. Meanwhile, Seth and JD have escaped into a cul-de-sac of near strangers, NPCs built from memory. JD meets a violent double, Seth hears from strangers who claim they've always known him. Everyone's grip on reality is slipping, especially Margot. Her dad admits he's manipulating Jules' guilt, and even though Margot knows he died, she wants to believe in the illusion. She'd give anything for this version to be real. 3 brutal moments before we close the episode. Jules returns to the orb, JD is attacked by his copy, and Margot's dad eats a replica of her mother in the basement. And the cannibals weren't a metaphor. Episode 3, Beware the Cannibals. The cracks are starting to show. Jules' memory sphere is taking shape, alive, pulsing, forming something new. Meanwhile, Margot's dad has started rehearsing which version of Good Morning sounds most convincing.
Morning, Margot.
Dad?
Dylan's still trying to reach his wife Lacey, but she's rewritten her reality without him. The real JD is gone, burned by his doppelganger, and the fake one is unraveling, picking at his skin like a suit he doesn't fit in anymore. Margot begins to question the man calling himself her dad. He offers hollow reassurances, the kind that pretend grief can be smoothed over with a soft tone and a smile. But when she sees a replica of her mother's head tossed in the trash, the illusion breaks. That's not her dad, it never was. The group regathers, and Dylan finally explains what's happening. The house feeds on pain and memory. It wants them isolated because isolation makes them easier to control. But Margot and Seth might have found its weak point. Jules, meanwhile, is quietly spiraling, returning to the sphere that siphons pain and it's unable to let her go. The episode closes with JD peeling away his skin with Seth noticing and Jules slipping further into numbness. The house is still winning. And Seth, well, still nobody's clocking him. Episode 4, The Exit. Today is the day they try to go home, but nothing about this place wants to let them go. Dylan's attempt to jog Lacey's memory with the necklace ends up with her stabbing him, and it's evident to us that Lacey isn't going to come around. The group moves toward the house, and Margot's dad isn't too far behind. The NPCs, clones born from the memories of those trapped inside, aren't too happy that they're leaving. Seth explains that they can only feed off of the people who created them, which raises the question, how does he know that? The answer comes fast. Near the corn maze, Seth cracks. He compares himself to an orchid mantis, beautiful, deceptive, predatory. He confesses that he lives here. It's the only place he ever felt like he belonged. Jules wanders deeper into the dream terrain, and Dylan leaves Lacey behind to follow her. The group is isolated again, just like the house once. Seth begs Margot to stay and build a life with him. JD is revealed to be a copy, and Dylan torches him. And during a moment in the maze, Margot runs to her father. Fighting against another very real death, he tells her to run, but he follows her anyway. They find the house again. Dylan sacrifices himself to destroy it, but doesn't get that opportunity, and Margot's dad gets inside. The girls get out and emerge into the real world, spotting a dandelion and 2 new visitors approaching the house. It's over. Until it isn't. Her dad made it through too, which begs the question, if your memories come with you, does the nightmare ever really end? Episode 5, The Damage. The girls are back, but we know it's not our happy ending. Jules admits the house took her memories while Margot wrestles with the wreckage of her father's suicide. Her mother reveals the business was underwater and that the accident, his death, let them keep everything. It's not closure, it's more grief on top of grief. Her dad sacrificed himself for them, and now the copy of him is loose in their world, hiding in the shadows of their backyard shed. Seth shows up, tells Jules the truth. Margot's dad is inside the house and he's struggling not to feed. But that resolve slips. He does it anyway. Margot forces his hand, and he's forced into the basement, desperate to stay alive. Meanwhile, the house is using Jules as a breeding ground for copies. Margot can't bring herself to destroy her dad, even though he's not real. Seth makes the call. They trick him into eating a memory-laced version of the meds that killed him before, and the story he told about it being painless? Another lie. Just when things seem quiet, Margot's mom walks in. Her dad reappears and lunges out at them, and Margot freezes. Seth saves her, but Margot turns around and chooses to re-enter the nightmare and leaves with her father anyway, to protect them. And the house? Gone again. Jules stands in its place, alone. Episode 6, The Hollow Girl. It's been a year. Margot lives inside No End House with her father and Seth, trying to survive on routine. She writes down memories she wants to keep. Her father feeds when he has to. It's not living, it's just limbo. Seth plays the part of content boyfriend, but we know it's an act. Meanwhile, Jules finds the house again, now relocated in Quebec. Determined to bring Margot home, she re-enters. Seth warns her, whatever the house hasn't drained from her yet will consume her. But Jules is done listening, but not before Seth knocks her out and traps her in a basement with the sphere. When Jules escapes, she violently cuts her way out of the memory sphere like it's nothing, and you believe it. She's changed. Margot is losing her grip on her old life, but Jules reminds her of who she is and what matters. Together, they uncover Seth's secret. He's been using the house to create a life for himself, feeding on women he lured in. One by one, they emerge from every house, calling for him. When Margot sets the Trapp family loose on him, they consumed everything he ever was. Her father watches quietly, He's changed too. They're still loving him even if it was never real. In the series' most gutting moment, Margot chooses to let him go. It's the final release. The grief, the guilt, the fantasy of keeping the dead alive. She and Jules walk into the daylight. No one house is behind them. But the ache, that still lingers. And that's the truth the show never flinches from. Surviving means learning how to live with the loss. So, what happened? Viewership fell over time. Unfortunately, I get why. Each season of Channel Zero earned solid reviews, but the show never marketed itself particularly well. As an anthology, it asks you to commit to an entirely new story and tone every season. And not everyone's up for that kind of long-haul investment. The audience dipped after each season, and honestly, I lost interest myself after season 3. That said, fans of the series often refer to Brand New Cherry Flavor as the unofficial 5th season, and I can definitely see it. It's funny how some people even discovered Channel Zero because of Brand New Cherry Flavor. Oh, and it stars our favorite nice guy, Seth, aka Jeff Ward. We're not saying anything here. He absolutely fucking nailed it. I love hearing people's rankings of the seasons, even when they're wrong. Just kidding, no I'm not. If you want to watch it, Channel Zero is currently streaming on Shudder, aka my favorite streaming service, or you can grab the full series on DVD in case it's surrendered to the void. Nick and Asuka, if you happen to come across this, we need you to get back to the weird stuff. No One House doesn't just explore grief, it inhabits it. The missing memories echo how it feels to lose someone, terrified of forgetting because those memories are all you have left. At one point, Seth calls memory a disease, and when you're deep in grief, it can feel like one. But memories matter, even painful ones. And they're proof that love existed, that you were there, and it meant something. So, until next time, my creepy companions.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.